When 50 Cent says he has unreleased footage that could end someone for good, this isn't just an attempt to throw shade or provoke a reaction. This is 50 Cent, a man who has built his career on the ability to strategically dismantle others, turning their weaknesses into public spectacles with nothing more than the perfect combination of timing, calculated patience, and an unassailable collection of receipts. For decades, he has proven time and time again that when he speaks, people listen, because they know he's not bluffing. Now that very same warning is being aimed squarely at one of the most influential and powerful figures in the entertainment world, Sean Diddy Combs. So the big question on everyone's mind is, what kind of footage could be so explosive, so undeniably damaging, that 50 Cent has chosen to keep it under wraps instead of letting it loose immediately? Why is he holding on to this bombshell at all? Why now? And what is it about this moment that feels different from all the previous ones? Why does it feel like this is the final piece in a puzzle, a story that has been quietly building for decades, with a slow burn leading to this explosive, inevitable climax? To understand why this feels like a turning point, we need to dive deeper into the history of 50 Cent and Diddy's complicated relationship. Their beef has always been simmering beneath the surface, but this isn't just a one-off rivalry or a passing quarrel. This goes beyond the occasional disses or subtle jabs thrown on social media. There's something much bigger at play here, something much deeper, and 50 Cent is playing the long game, waiting for the perfect moment to drop a bombshell that could change everything. 50 Cent is a master strategist, and he's not the type to make a move unless he's absolutely sure of his position. He doesn't act on impulse, everything he does is calculated. So why would he withhold this footage? Why not just release it and watch the chaos unfold? The answer lies in 50's understanding of the power of timing. He knows that releasing this footage too soon would be a mistake. It would give Diddy's team the chance to spin the narrative, to try and control the damage, and ultimately to weaken the impact of the revelation. But by holding back, 50 allows the public to connect the dots on their own, to fill in the blanks without interference. And when the footage finally drops, it won't just be an accusation, it will be a confirmation. It will be the missing puzzle piece that makes everything fall into place, and the public will be left with no choice but to accept it as truth. But the real danger here isn't just the footage itself, it's what that footage represents. It's not just about one damning video or piece of evidence. It's about the larger narrative that has been quietly building for years. Diddy's carefully constructed public persona, his image as a visionary mogul, a protector of artists, a gatekeeper of the entertainment world, is being called into question. Reputations like Diddy's don't collapse from one isolated incident or one moment of weakness. They fall when the private behaviors of a person no longer align with the public image they've worked so hard to cultivate. And Diddy's image has been one of power, respect, and untouchability. But what happens when the curtain is pulled back and the truth is exposed? What happens when the world sees that the carefully curated narrative no longer holds up? That's when the real damage begins. The public trust begins to erode. The fans, the partners, the sponsors, they all start to question what they thought they knew. And once that trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. The entertainment industry is unforgiving, and the public's perception can shift in an instant. Sponsors and business partners don't wait for trials or verdicts to make their moves. Public opinion moves much faster than facts, and once the public gets a whiff of something, they will run with it. And 50 Cent knows that better than anyone. He's seen it happen before. He's seen how a single, well-timed revelation can completely change the landscape. And here's where things get even more interesting. While the public might be buzzing with anticipation, there's a curious silence coming from the industry. It's a deafening quiet, a silence that speaks volumes. No major celebrities are rushing to Diddy's defense. No one is stepping up to publicly shut down 50 Cent or deny the existence of this supposed footage. When that kind of silence happens, it usually means one thing: people don't know what's on the tape, and they don't want to be the ones defending something they haven't seen. Executives are shifting uncomfortably, artists are treading lightly, lawyers are making calls. That silence, it's the kind of silence that indicates there's more to this story than anyone is willing to admit right now. If that footage does eventually come out, the consequences will be nothing short of catastrophic. Public. See, trust will collapse almost instantly. Diddy's business partners, his sponsors, and his collaborators will start distancing themselves. The fallout will be swift and unforgiving, but the real damage isn't just the immediate collapse, it's the reevaluation of everything Diddy has built. It's the digging up of old interviews, old lyrics, old stories, each one reinterpreted in light of the new information. That's when the narrative begins to shift. That's when history starts to be rewritten. So what's the bottom line here? 50 Cent isn't just threatening Diddy, he's warning him. And when someone warns you, it means there's still time to handle the situation before everything falls apart. But once that footage is out there, it's too late. The world will know that it exists, and once people believe something, they won't stop waiting for the confirmation. And when that confirmation comes, everything changes. And let's not forget about Jordan, 50's former personal chef, who's already spoken out about Diddy. She's not holding back, and if 50 decides to release her testimony along with the footage, it will only add fuel to the fire. She's revealed some shocking details about Diddy that could turn the whole situation upside down. When Jordan went to New York to testify, she dropped bombshell after bombshell. If 50 Cent releases this footage, it will be one of the most talked about moments in entertainment history. This is the kind of revelation that could bring down Diddy's entire empire. So how do you feel about all of this? How do you feel about 50 Cent warning Diddy, telling him, I have this footage and I can release it whenever I want. There's nothing you can do about it. Diddy already tried suing Netflix and that didn't work. 50 Cent has Diddy cornered now. There's no way out for him. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends and stay tuned for more updates. This story is far from over. If you want more, click on the screen to watch even more great content. And make sure to check out my other channel, The Lionel B Show. You can also catch my clips on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other major podcast platforms. Let's break this down and dive even deeper. 50 Cent and Diddy have never been what you would consider friends, and that's hardly a revelation. Their rivalry, their tension, their complex relationship has been an open secret for years, a topic of conversation in every hip-hop circle and within the entertainment industry as a whole. But what's truly significant here and what changes the dynamics entirely is that this time it's not just another spat or a one-off exchange of insults. This isn't about petty online jokes, memes, or those clever, biting Instagram jabs that we've all come to expect. This time, 50 Cent isn't just taking shots for the sake of it. He isn't cracking a smile or tossing out lighthearted shade for fun. No, this time 50 Cent's tone was calm, deliberate, and razor-focused. When he speaks, there's a quiet authority in his words, a sense of purpose that makes you pay attention. He didn't say, I have some footage that could hurt Diddy. He didn't even say, this could bring him down. No, 50 Cent chose his words carefully, and what he said wasn't a casual remark or an idle threat. He stated with absolute clarity, I have footage the public has never seen, and if it comes out, it's over. That's not just a throwaway line. That's not a piece of careless trash talk. That, my friends, is a warning, a clear, unequivocal warning. And not just any warning, one that carries weight, one that signals this isn't something 50 Cent is joking about or bluffing. He has seen the aftermath of his past moves, and this time he's making sure the stakes are high. There's a calculated stillness in his approach, a sense that he's about to reveal something that will change everything and he's in control of the moment. This is not a situation where Diddy can laugh it off, shrug it off, or downplay it. The fact that 50 Cent hasn't dropped the footage yet when he clearly could makes it all the more potent. The silence, the waiting, it builds anticipation and dread at the same time. What could be so damning that it could shift the entire narrative in an instant? Why has he held on to it? That's the question Diddy and the entire entertainment world is left wondering. The way 50 Cent phrased his statement matters, and it matters a lot. You see, 50 Cent is a man who doesn't make claims unless he's absolutely sure of what he has. He's not a guy who speaks on a whim. When 50 Cent says he has footage that could end someone for good, it's not a casual statement, it's a warning wrapped in layers of certainty. First, he knows exactly what's on that tape. There is no room for guesswork, no uncertainty in his words. He's seen it all, he knows every frame, every action, every moment captured. It's not a matter of maybe or possibly, he has first-hand knowledge. Of what's on that footage, this isn't some rumor or second-hand information. 50 Cent is speaking from a place of complete knowledge, and that's the kind of certainty that makes people sit up and listen. Second, he knows exactly where the tape came from. This isn't some vague or unsubstantiated claim he's throwing out there. This is a piece of well-calculated leverage, something he has full control over. He's not pulling some random stunt. He knows exactly where this footage originated, who's involved, and what its implications could be. This is not the kind of information you just throw around carelessly. It's a weapon, a piece of ammunition that 50 Cent is holding onto with precision and control. He's not relying on chance or coincidence. This is something that he's carefully curated and stored for the right moment. And third, 50 Cent knows exactly when to drop this bombshell. He's not rushing, he's not impulsive. He's not making rash decisions. He's biding his time, watching the world unfold, waiting for the perfect moment to release the footage. He understands the value of timing. He knows that dropping this footage too soon would only dilute its impact, give Diddy's team time to spin their own narrative, and allow the public to dismiss it as another unfounded claim. But when the moment is right, when the public is primed and the atmosphere is charged, that's when 50 will strike. That's when the footage will be released, and the world will be forced to pay attention. Now notice something incredibly important. 50 didn't say it might end him. He didn't hedge his statement or soften it with uncertainty. Instead, he said it will end him. This is not a man throwing out idle threats. This is someone who is sure of his power, someone who knows that once the footage hits, there will be no coming back for Diddy. The confidence in that statement is extraordinary. For 50 Cent to make such a bold, definitive claim means he is not speculating. He is acting from a place of absolute certainty. This isn't bluffing. This is cold, calculated power. When 50 says it will end him, that's not a challenge. It's a reality that Diddy and anyone listening should be taking seriously. And here's the question that everyone is asking. Why should we believe this? Why should anyone take 50 Cent's words seriously this time? Truth is, 50 Cent has a proven track record. He's known for letting his enemies talk themselves into a hole, for sitting back while they make mistake after mistake. He doesn't need to engage in petty back and forths or make grandiose threats. Instead, he stays silent, watches the drama unfold, and waits. He watches as his targets get caught up in their own lies, contradictions, and poor decisions. While the internet argues and speculates, 50 is in the background, calculating his next move. He's letting the narrative take shape without him having to do a thing. And when the time is right, when he knows the story is at its tipping point, he makes his move. And when he does, it's always the same reaction. 50 Cent is just trolling. People brush it off, dismiss it as just another one of his stunts. Until of course it is. Until the moment arrives when 50 Cent drops the bombshell that can't be ignored. That's how he works. He's perfected the art of silence. He's made his reputation by keeping people guessing, by making them believe he's just playing a game, until they realize too late that the game was never in their favor, and that's why he's so successful. He understands the power of waiting, of letting others reveal their own weaknesses, of controlling the narrative with nothing but silence and strategic timing. But now let's take a step back and look at what makes this moment so much more significant than the past. The stakes are higher now. Diddy isn't just dealing with online rumors or social media jabs. This isn't a fight over gossip or the usual celebrity back and forth. This is something much, much deeper, something far more dangerous. Diddy isn't just up against a few disparaging remarks or a PR crisis. He's fighting against something that could destroy everything he's built: patterns, multiple people, multiple stories, multiple timelines, and all of them point to the same thing. That's when the footage stops being just a piece of evidence and starts becoming something much more lethal, a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. When these patterns begin to emerge, when so many voices are saying the same thing, that's when the footage becomes undeniable. That's when it shifts from being an accusation to being a fact. The footage becomes more than just a maybe. It becomes a truth that is too big to ignore, and once that truth comes out, there's no going back. That's when the walls start closing in on Diddy. That's when everything he's built, the empire, the persona, the carefully crafted brand, begins to crumble. And it all starts with this footage, this moment that 50 Cent is holding in his hands. This isn't just about one piece of evidence, it's about the story, the larger narrative that has been quietly building for years. This footage is the final piece, the confirmation of everything that has been whispered behind closed doors, the revelation that will change the public's perception forever. Diddy isn't just facing a single accusation, he's facing an avalanche of truth that has been carefully organized and orchestrated. And that's why when 50 Cent decides it's time to drop this footage, it will have the impact of a bomb going off. The public will see it not just as one person's word, but as the truth that has been waiting to be exposed all along. So here's where things get even more serious. The people involved in this story, they're not backing down. They're not afraid to speak up, to reveal what they know. Jordan, 50 Cent's former personal chef, has already spoken out about Diddy. And if 50 decides to release her testimony along with the footage, the story will explode in ways no one is prepared for. She shared incredibly damaging details about Diddy that, when combined with the footage, will expose everything. Jordan's testimony is the match that could light the fuse. When she went to New York to testify, she revealed bombshells that could change everything. If 50 Cent releases both the footage and her story, it's going to be a game changer. So what does this all mean? How do you feel about 50 Cent's warning to Diddy? How do you feel about him saying, "I have this footage and I can release it whenever I want and there's nothing you can do about it"? Diddy already tried to fight Netflix over the Power series and that didn't work out. 50 Cent has Diddy cornered and there's nowhere for him to hide. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends and stay tuned because this story is far from over. If you want more, click on the screen to watch even more great content. And make sure to check out my other channel, The Lionel B Show. You can also catch my clips on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other major podcast platforms. Reputations don't collapse from a single moment of weakness. They don't shatter because of one isolated incident. Reputations fall when the private behaviors, those actions hidden from the public eye, no longer align with the carefully constructed public persona a person has spent years, even decades, building. And for someone like Diddy, whose career has been built on a flawless image of power, success, and control, the stakes are higher than ever. This isn't just about a celebrity scandal or an exposed rumor. This is about the unraveling of an entire public narrative, the destruction of everything Diddy has worked to protect for so long. Diddy has carefully crafted his public image over decades, positioning himself as a visionary mogul, a defender of artists, a gatekeeper of the entertainment industry. To the public, he's a symbol of success, of overcoming adversity, of building an empire. He's built himself up to be untouchable, a man whose influence is so vast that nothing could ever threaten his reign. But what happens when that public image starts to crack? What happens when the truth that has been hidden for so long begins to seep out, and the man who once stood as a pillar of strength, power, and invulnerability begins to show signs of fragility? What happens when that carefully constructed persona is revealed to be nothing more than a facade? And worse yet, what happens when that truth comes from a source so undeniably credible, so powerful that there's no denying the narrative? This is where the danger lies. Sponsors, executives, and networks don't wait for verdicts in a courtroom. They don't need to see the full picture to make their decisions. They're watching the public's reaction. They're watching how the public responds to whispers, rumors, and accusations, and they know better than anyone that the speed of public opinion moves much faster than the speed of facts. 50 Cent understands this better than anyone. He knows that once the public catches wind of something, they don't need to see the whole truth. They latch onto what they hear first. They'll believe whatever narrative comes to them, whether it's true or not. And the longer it takes for the truth to come out, the more the speculation grows. This is why timing is everything. If 50 Cent drops this footage too soon, it gives Diddy and his team a chance to counteract it. They'll have time to spin their own version of events to discredit the footage and to control the narrative before it has the chance to take hold. But if 50 waits? If he allows the public to stew in their own anticipation and speculation for long enough, it will make the footage feel like the confirmation people have been waiting for. The impact will hit harder. Diddy's brand, the public persona he has so carefully built over decades, is not just based on his actions, it's based on the perception he's carefully curated. This public image isn't just about what he's done, but what people believe he's done. And if that image suddenly shatters, if the truth behind the scenes, the truth that has been hidden from public view, is revealed to be completely at odds with the brand he's built, it will have consequences far beyond anything he could have imagined. Sponsors and business partners don't want to be associated with someone whose reputation is in free fall. Once the public gets a glimpse of what's really been happening behind closed doors, there's no turning back. Executives will start pulling back, distancing themselves from the fallout, unsure of what's coming next. Networks will pause their partnerships, questioning whether aligning with Diddy is worth the risk. When the public sees that the truth doesn't align with the narrative they've been sold for years, the trust will evaporate almost instantly. Now that's where things start to get really dangerous for Diddy. The question on everyone's mind is this: if the footage is so damning, why hasn't 50 Cent released it yet? This is the question that keeps everyone on edge, and it's the key to understanding why 50 Cent is so dangerous. Timing is critical. He knows that releasing this footage too early would dilute its impact. It would give Diddy and his team the chance to regroup, to respond, and to offer up a counter-narrative that might discredit the footage before it gains real traction. By holding back, 50 Cent allows the public to connect the dots on their own, to begin to fill in the gaps with their own theories. The longer this goes on, the more the speculation builds. And when the footage is finally released, it won't be seen as an accusation. It will be seen as a confirmation of everything people have already suspected. 50 Cent understands the psychological effect of this. He knows how waiting amplifies the damage. The longer Diddy is left in a state of uncertainty, the more intense the public's curiosity will become. The more people speculate about what could be on that tape, the more the anticipation builds. And when that footage finally drops, it won't just be a video. It will be the final nail in the coffin of Diddy's carefully curated image. The public will already have formed their own narrative by then, and when the footage confirms what they've been suspecting all along, it will have an explosive impact. Now here's where the real danger lies. The industry is quiet, too quiet. No celebrities are rushing to Diddy's defense. No big-name stars are stepping forward to shoot down what 50 Cent is claiming. No powerful figures are publicly denying anything. And in this business, silence like that speaks louder than anything. Silence means uncertainty. It means that no one is sure what's on the tape, and no one wants to be the one to stand up and defend something they haven't seen for themselves. When silence like this surrounds a controversy, it's dangerous. It means people are backing away, taking a step back and waiting to see what happens next. Executives, artists, lawyers, they're all in wait-and-see mode, unsure of what's coming, but they know that the moment that tape drops, everything changes. And when everyone starts to back away from Diddy, the walls start closing in. If that footage does come out, here's what happens. Public trust in Diddy will collapse instantly. There won't be time for damage control. There will be no quick fix, no way to spin the narrative. Diddy's brand will be shattered, and there's no recovering from that. Second, his business partners, sponsors, and collaborators will start pulling away. They'll distance themselves as quickly as possible, unwilling to risk being associated with someone whose reputation has just been completely destroyed. And third, everything Diddy has built, his empire, his legacy, his brand, will be subjected to the most intense scrutiny. This isn't just about cancellation. This is about reevaluation. Every business decision, every interview, every song lyric, every story he's told will suddenly take on new meaning. Everything he has ever said or done will be reinterpreted through a completely different lens. The public will no longer look at Diddy the same way, and his empire will no longer stand on the solid foundation it once did. This is the moment when history gets rewritten. It's not about canceling Diddy, it's about completely reframing his legacy. 50 Cent's power lies in his ability to manipulate timing and perception. He knows that Diddy's carefully constructed world can collapse with a single, perfectly timed reveal. The silence surrounding this footage only makes it more dangerous. The longer 50 waits, the bigger the explosion will be. And when it finally happens, Diddy won't just be battling a public scandal, he'll be fighting to rebuild everything he's worked so hard to create. It's not just about a man and a tape. It's about the destruction of a carefully crafted image, a public persona that's been built on years of careful manipulation and strategic positioning. The clock is ticking, and 50 Cent knows exactly when to strike. So here's the real takeaway. 50 Cent isn't just threatening Diddy, he's issuing a stark, crystal-clear warning. Warnings typically imply that there's still time to take action, to correct the course, to fix things before everything unravels. But once that footage is released, it's game over. The damage will already be done, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to undo it. The world will know it exists, and once people believe there's a tape out there, they won't stop waiting for the click. And when it happens, everything changes. The entire narrative, the whole public perception, will shift dramatically in the blink of an eye. A man who has spent decades building a towering image of invincibility, of being a mogul, a visionary, will find that image torn down in an instant. Every carefully crafted layer of Diddy's public persona, his business empire, his music legacy, his reputation as a protector of artists, will be brought crashing down. But it's not just about the footage itself. The real kicker, the silence that surrounds it. You can already feel it in the air. There's a collective holding of breath happening right now, the waiting, the uncertainty. Everyone, Diddy, the media, the industry knows that the moment that footage drops, everything changes. But here's the thing, the moment the footage is released, it will not just be about a single incident. It won't just be one video that goes viral. It will be the final nail in the coffin of Diddy's public image. This story will reshape everything the public thought they knew about him. The narrative will flip. The long-standing empire he's built will start to crumble, and there's no coming back from that. Now let's take a closer look at why this matters so much. Remember, this is 50 Cent we're talking about, the same 50 Cent who has built his career not just on making music, but on leveraging information to his advantage. He's a man who has mastered the art of timing and patience. He doesn't act on impulse. He doesn't rush into battles unprepared. No, 50 watches, waits, and lets his enemies dig their own graves before he drops the hammer. He's always been the one in control, even when it looks like he's not involved at all. He watches as his enemies make mistakes, as they start talking too much, as they let their egos push them into corners. And when the moment is right, when he's sure the world is ready, that's when he strikes. He doesn't force the story, he lets it unfold, he lets the chaos build, and when the time is right, he releases his evidence, flipping the entire narrative in one swift, calculated move. That's why, despite all the questions, the speculation, and the drama building around this situation, there's still this eerie quiet from Diddy's camp. Why hasn't Diddy's team tried to shut this down? Why hasn't anyone from his corner come forward to discredit the claims or fight back against 50 Cent? The truth is, no one knows what's on that tape. No one can defend something they haven't seen. The silence, it speaks volumes. When the industry stays quiet in the face of this kind of threat, it usually means one thing: they're waiting foe. Or something, and that something is the moment when the footage drops and the truth will be too undeniable to deny. When you're caught in the eye of the storm and you can't even rally your own team to defend you, that's when you know things have gotten real. Now, here's where things take an even darker turn. Let's talk about Jordan, 50 Cent's former personal chef. Jordan isn't just a passive observer in this saga. She has already spoken out about Diddy, and if 50 decides to release her testimony along with the footage, it will take this story to an entirely new level. She has details, damning details, that could change the entire perception of Diddy, completely flipping the narrative. She has shared information that could add layers of depth to the footage, making it even more powerful, even more destructive. And when Jordan went to New York to testify, she revealed even more details that have the potential to completely dismantle the public's view of Diddy. If 50 Cent decides to release both the footage and Jordan's testimony at the same time, the internet will break. We're talking about a bombshell of epic proportions. It will set the world on fire. This is no longer just a story about one video. This is about unraveling a carefully constructed empire. This is about exposing a series of truths that have been hidden for far too long. This footage, combined with Jordan's testimony, will be the kind of revelation that shatters everything Diddy has spent his entire career building. His legacy, his influence, and everything he's worked for will be up for reevaluation. And that's the kind of damage that can't be undone. Now, let's revisit the question that's on everyone's mind. What do you think? How do you feel about 50 Cent's warning to Diddy? The message is clear: I have this footage and I can release it whenever I want. There's nothing you can do about it. How does that make you feel? Diddy already tried suing Netflix and that didn't work. Every move Diddy's made to protect his empire has failed to silence 50 Cent. Diddy is cornered and 50 Cent is in control. This is a high-stakes game, and right now 50 holds all the cards. Let me know what you think. Are you buying into 50 Cent's warning, or do you think Diddy can somehow dodge the bullet? Do you think the footage will drop soon? Do you believe that once it's out, Diddy's entire world will be turned upside down? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. This story is far from over, and we'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way. Share this video with your friends. This is a moment in history that's too big to ignore. If you want more content, click on the screen now to watch even more. And make sure to check out my other channel, The Lionel B Show. You can also catch my clips on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other major podcast platforms. So here's the million-dollar question. What do you think? How do you feel about 50 Cent's warning to Diddy when he says, I have this footage and I can release it whenever I want? There's nothing you can do about it. Diddy tried to sue Netflix and that didn't work. 50 Cent has Diddy by the short hairs now, and there's no way out. What do you think is going to happen when the footage drops? Will Diddy's empire come crashing down, or will he somehow find a way to survive this storm? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any updates. Share this video with your friends and stay tuned, because this story is far from over. If you want even more, click on the screen to watch more of my latest content. Also, check out my other channel, The Lionel B Show, and you can catch all my clips on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other major podcast platforms. Stay locked in, we'll be following this story closely.